Shiner, Texas. I've never been there.
Mine neither.
I haven't.
Mine neither.
What about your nader?
Mine neither.
Good Lord.
Well, welcome to the latest edition of Dudes Like Us.
Dudeslikeus.us. Dudes like us.
.us.
Talking to dudes like you
Yeah.
about dudes
Wait, no,
that
you
do
messed it
stuff
up.
like we.
No,
What?
you messed it up. You
I
messed it up.
Screwed up.
God
Anyway,
damn it.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Sean.
And welcome to Dudes Like Us.
There you go.
On National Hot Dog Day.
Oh, it is. You know, they sell flat hot dogs now. Have you seen those? I think I said
Flat hot dogs?
flat, round hot. So it's you cook them like a hamburger and eat them on a hamburger bun.
Basically, it's spam.
Essentially, yeah, with hot dog skin, with wiener skin around it.
Nice.
Okay, hold on. I do recall something about this, but they're more square shaped for sandwiches.
Well, they're not exactly round, but they're not square.
They're designed for sandwiches as
Yeah,
opposed to buns.
But do
So
they
you-
sell them in a can like spam?
With
No,
like
you-
that jelly.
like a deck of cards? You just
Yeah.
You
kind
can
of
shuffle them. No, you grill them up like a hot dog, but you flip them like a hamburger.
I don't like that.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
I've never tried it. They're not cheap, so I probably won't try them.
What the hell? People are going to spend more money to buy flat hot dogs than normal hot dogs?
Well, Paul likes the little red tubes of meat.
Yeah, he likes the wieners.
Love 'em.
I like
Yeah.
the wiener.
So versatile.
It is National Hot Dog Day,
Good
and I
God.
like a good hot dog. I like some good accoutrements on there. You know, some sauerkraut,
Accoutrements.
mustard.
I'm
onions.
out on the sauerkraut.
No, it's good
Never
stuff.
been a fan, never will be a fan.
Good
Sorry.
Especially on really cold days.
Did you say sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I love
Of
sauerkraut.
course you do.
Yeah,
I lived in Germany. I love sauerkraut.
Well, it's not necessarily the reason, but
Right,
I just
Nice.
was
I'm
forced
half,
to eat
I'm
it.
half German.
You are?
Yes.
I'm 3/4 German. What difference does it make?
I like sauerkraut. You don't, bitch.
I don't, bitch. Dude, this is the first time we're going to throw down in the middle of podcast.
Dude.
I like it.
Look up
Well, why
flat.
don't you like sauerkraut?
Look up flat wiener
I don't
real
know.
quick,
It's cabbage.
How
That
could you-
smells funny.
or hot dog, or wiener.
Get out of here.
Flat
Get
hot dog.
out of here.
You know, I honestly, I think there are just some people out there that are immature about food,
That's me. There's
and
a
that's
lot-
okay.
I'm trying to be better.
And I'm okay with
You
that.
know, I'll own that. I'll own that. There's a ton of stuff that I treat food like a
It's that
5-year-old.
Rastelli's right there.
That's an absolute true statement.
There are a bunch of people out there. Me, I don't care. I'll eat almost anything. I mean, as long as it's not like sliced up penis, I'm good.
What?
Do they sell that?
Hell, there's like menudo. Isn't menudo made out of like cow
Menudo's
tripe?
Menudo's a soup, yeah, with tripe in it.
Oh, they have all
hominy?
sorts of like bull testicles and
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on.
Well, you
that.
have Rocky Mountain oysters, right?
that tongue.
No, those
No,
are
those
sheep
are-
nuts.
Oh.
Remember seeing Chevy Chase in Funny Farm? Where he's sitting there, he's eating them, and he eats one, and he goes, "That's the
Yeah.
new record."
Yeah, new records, and he's like, "These things are good." He's like, "I can eat." He kept eating them. He's just like, "No one's ever eaten that many before." You know what?
150.
You know, no, give me all three of those. I'm breaking the record. If I'm gonna break the record, might as well break the record, right? I just love that. He starts popping more in his mouth,
Oh, that's correct.
and then he told him what they were, and he's just like,
Yeah.
That's gross. Oh, there they are. They're flat hot dogs
"No,
that you eat on a hamburger bun. I don't
I'll
see
try
the-
them out."
I don't see
mean,
the draw of that.
I don't know.
It's just a different way for you to get your meat. You
It kind
know,
of looks like bologna this way.
Yeah. Maybe they are easier to grill though.
no, they fit on a. You don't have to buy hot dog buns. No, you can put them. You know, if you have hamburgers, now you don't have to buy 2 sets of breads. You just buy
So-
one bread.
Yeah.
So you get 12 of these things.
You
for
can even double patty it.
$55.
You can do what?
You get 12
for
of those.
$55.
Yeah. Well, 56 actually.
The fuck
Plus-
out of here.
Oh,
That's
it's free.
that's retarded.
No, 3 easy pays of 1863. No, something's not right.
Well, it says 12 3-ounce hot dogs.
12
$55.88.
3-ounce hot dogs for 50 with standard shipping and handling. This is what is this?
This is
QVC selling flat hot dogs? I turn this off immediately.
Yeah,
Look
Do you
at
have
that
any
thing. It's
man
kind,
points we're losing by even having this show on right now?
it's kind of jiggly.
Lord.
Good Lord.
I've never been to the QVC website before.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, you know what?
that's awful. All right. Well, anyway, let's quickly get through our bourbon.
Happy National Hot Dog Day for
Yeah.
those hot dogs. I like to do the traditional stuff.
I
Me
like
too.
I like
Me
on
too.
Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. I always like the hamburgers. I
It's
prefer
the spirit.
brats.
I prefer brats too, man, and
It's-
sausage dogs.
But it's more. It's not just the hot dog. It's the spirit of togetherness. It's the spirit of a summer party. It's the spirit of being outside in the sun and having a hot dog on National Hot Dog Day. Maybe a baseball game,
100%.
you know. And I remember I had the wonderful experience of serving my community in the HOA and
For years.
long time.
Decades.
And we would set
Decades.
Too long. Too long.
up. I'm on my way out.
Yeah.
You said that for 2 years.
You have
Chuck, I'm done.
You have HOA
Chuck, if you listen to this,
PTSD. You know that?
I'm signing out. What's that?
You have-
PTSD?
yeah, you have HOA PTSD.
Man, you know what? I was driving. I know I'm getting caught off on a tangent, but we were driving somewhere and I saw a sign. Hey, this weekend we have a what's it called? A yard sale. It's yard sale this weekend,
Neighborhood
Saturday
yard.
from 8 to
Yeah.
freaking 2.
HOA
You know what?
yard sale. You started convulsing.
I almost cried because I didn't have to do any of it. I didn't even know about it.
So, okay, well, hold on. So it's exciting to you. To
It's
know.
exciting to see it because shit's getting done and I'm not having to do it.
Very nice. Okay.
And the counterparts have picked up the ball and they're running with it. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
but they
like the
can't
Pink Panther dude.
but they can't
Exit stage
replace you.
left.
They can't replace you because every time you did a holiday cookout, what'd you do with the hot dogs?
Keistered it.
You keistered the hot dogs, and
All
they
200.
love you
Well,
for
that's-
it.
All 200.
what-
Whoa.
That's what that's when I go around like a queen ant and start making deposits. You know, bung, 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 bung.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
So, the National Hot Dog Day reminds me of being out in the sun, being out at the pool, this pool party, and you know we would have to make food for to prepare for 150 people or something like that going to potentially show up. So you got a lot of hot dogs and burgers, and I would love to do the hot dogs. So I'd cook them all on my grill and I'd get a little system set up where when the dogs are all done, I slap them in a bun, and I roll them up in an aluminum foil wrap.
So you did
and
this at home before you even went out to the
did.
pool.
I did.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was tandem. I'd run back and forth, and I would try to get a few people to help. But that was my
with
little
your
fun.
green egg, you could cook them in like 3 seconds. You could flash cook them.
No shit, man. I got that damn egg up hot, and we were trying to sear the sous vide brisket this weekend. So we slapped it on the grill, and man, I threw some of that Polish sausage on there. That shit was done in 30 seconds.
So you're like ashified.
Man,
almost.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, man!" It started. You know how it splits open. It starts. Its innards are coming out, and I was like, "Shit!" There's way too much stuff going on. Jeff's got the torch, and he's burning the brisket, trying to create a char.
All right, so hold on. How'd that go?
Well, let him finish his HOA
Yeah,
story.
Yes,
first.
my bad.
Yeah,
my
we'll
bad.
talk about the
Good-
meat,
good
but
call.
that was basically it. So National Hot Dog Day, we wrap them up, and everyone goes out. Tell you what, when you get a ballpark burger or a ballpark hot dog, and it's in that foil, and you open it up, and it's warm,
Steaming.
You put a
And
big
it's
swath of mustard
nice
on
and
it.
soft.
Oh,
It's not the sometimes you get like the big. I like the mustard.
I like
me
mustard.
too. I
If
like
they have
ketchup.
sauerkraut, I'll have that too.
Oh, sauerkraut,
I'll
yes.
pass.
Do you like the nice,
I like sauerkraut.
nice?
What are you doing with your hands there?
First off, hold on.
It's
You
like
don't
you're
put
massaging
sauerkraut on
balls.
hot dogs. You put sauerkraut on brats.
You can put it on a hot dog too.
No, you don't.
You get-
I don't know who does that.
I
But
do.
there's a lot of people do it. But you know what? Some people do that. It's also kind of. I think it's disgusting. Is they put mayonnaise on hot
Yeah.
dogs?
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
Not, I'm out on the
I'm
man.
kind of like, what?
I think
Who
ketchup on
are
hot
you?
dogs is nasty.
But
I
can
think
I-
it's mustard or nothing.
Can I go back to what he asked? What were you doing with your hand?
I was trying to emulate
Yeah.
the German really stone ground mustard. I like
Yeah.
that kind of mustard on.
So for those
So what's
people
the
out there,
hand
his,
have to
his,
do with
it? I
his
was
palm
grinding
was
the
facing
mustard.
the ceiling, and he was taking his fingers and he was like rolling, like he had two of those Asian metal balls. He was
Benoit.
rolling in his
Or it
hand.
looked
those
like he was-
Benoit balls.
It looked like he was tickling something.
Yeah, like you're friggin' trying to
Yeah. You look like you were
playing with little cock and balls.
you were
No.
putting the final touches on your cornstarch.
Could be. No, that was Sean.
Oh, that is Sean. All right, my bad.
But I like the sauerkraut. I like the
Oh.
onions. I don't like relish. I don't like sweet with hot dog. It needs to be mustard or horseradish. I like horseradish as well.
Chicka, 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 chicka.
Yeah, let's talk about our bourbon.
Chattanooga whiskey. That's what we're doing right now. Chattanooga whiskey. So we tried the Chattanooga whiskey. It was the 90 proof, and I remember our notes were that we liked it.
Oh yeah.
And this is basically the same thing,
was
but
solid,
with a higher
yeah.
power. So this one is 110, 111 proof, and
it's hot.
Yeah, it's a little spicy.
I think it's hot start to finish.
Hold on. Now, when you say, I think we're confusing the words hot versus spicy,
Isn't
and I think it's
that's not the same thing?
extremely spicy.
Yeah, it's spicy.
You know, as far as hot, it is 111 proof, but it's got a very sweet taste to it.
I like it.
It's that yellow corn.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Let me see here: yellow corn, malted rye, and,
really
and the
good.
barley. And
It's got the caramel malted barley, and
Caramel.
honey malted barley.
Caramel.
Plus the new added little feature that we don't know anything about. It says it's fermented and extended 7 days.
Now, what's up with that?
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
don't know.
Extended 7 days, which means it normally ferments for a certain amount of time, and this one they extended.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that means. But you know
No.
what? The age is greater than 2 years. Not that impressive.
No, it could be 30 years. It just says greater than.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Actually, you probably look on here and look at the when it was bottled.
So, handcrafted from a single fermentation in small batches, Chattanooga Whiskey 111 Cask is the unfiltered, barrel-strength expression of our signature Tennessee high malt. By omitting the traditional filtration process, Cask 111 is able to retain every bit of flavor and complexity from the rich ingredients and long maturation process. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you?
I didn't. There's no B in that word. It's maturation.
There's no S either.
The hell? Why is Dawson calling you?
No. No.
I don't know. I'll call him back.
No.
Do we have a calling guest?
No, we don't. You know what, though? I did pick up a little device, brought it so that we can start doing some, if we ever do interviews or something like that, or if you are going out of town and you actually have good phone reception, the little device right there, we could plug in and start doing podcast stuff remotely.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so if one of us goes out of town and we want to do the podcast, if we could squeeze it in, you take the what it does is it takes your phone call and puts it into the board.
Very nice.
So you can
Yeah, we
record
need to. Well, I mean,
instead of going like this.
here's the thing. Now that sponsors are freaking hounding us,
Flocking us.
I don't know.
We
Really,
got about at least 10
the backbeating
bourbon
us.
companies just
yes.
saying, here, take this free stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Barrels.
My God, we don't have room for it. We don't have room for all these. I
Yeah.
mean, barrels. Are they giving us barrels?
I mean, Alpha Shelving coming
Just
in and
barrels and
sponsoring
barrels.
us.
God, it's just
Yeah, it's-
ridiculous. How many? Anyway, so yeah, now that we're kind of becoming real and we have more than one listener,
We have two. I have two by myself, my parents.
really.
Yeah, well, no, that's not true.
You know what's funny? Somebody texted me after listening to a podcast, and you know how we were talking about Rudolph Rogers, and I thought it was Electric Generation, those fans underneath the freeway.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah, so I had a friend text me and go,
Oh, yeah.
"Those are ventilators, dude." Just totally out of the blue, like no context, nothing. He just put, "Those are ventilators," and I knew exactly what he was talking about. I was like, "I know, I'm an idiot." I thought they were generation. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
Yes.
it is kind of fun that people are listening and that they're connecting with the stories, and they're and they're reaching out, and they're kind of being fun with it. I just wish there were more. All right. Anyway,
We're getting
so
there.
We're getting
Slow
there.
but sure.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
have
getting there.
millions eventually.
Millions. I mean, now that I don't have a lisp anymore, I think that drove a lot of people away.
You don't?
Well,
Hell, that's your nickname.
I
mean, your name
What?
is Paul, but
What?
we call you is the double S here, the
The
Sibling
lisp.
Sam.
The lisp.
the lisp,
We're
Sammy
gonna get you
Semblance?
we're gonna get you a cape with a big
Great.
L on it.
kid lisp. You're Kid Rock.
Hey,
I'm-
Mikey, he
I'm
likes
Kid
it.
Lisp. Hey guys.
Kid lisp.
Hey, guys.
God.
No, it is much
Yeah,
better
that's
with
kind of weird.
the
Don't do it like that.
with
Okay, sorry.
the
That's
screen.
kind of like a Daffy Duck.
My bad.
One of the things I wanted to kind of touch on today is
All right. Go ahead.
the women's Olympic soccer team today.
Oh, they dominated. They won what, 12-0?
That's a big fat negative. They actually, they started out, they knelt for the anthem. I don't know if
Well-
all of them did, but the team, for the most part, knelt for the anthem. And then they proceeded to lose.
Yeah, that's great.
They got skunked 3-0 by Sweden.
Good.
Women's soccer team kneels before game. Is that what I just read?
Yes, they knelt before the game for the anthem.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. When are sports teams going to realize that it's turning fans off?
Well, the NFL hasn't figured it out. They're about to go more woke.
Yes, they are. And the NBA struck out big, and they recognized that. And they said this year we're not going to do what we did in the playoffs last year.
They're still way down.
They are, but they're not doing what they did last year, which is put the shit on the jerseys, and they're not doing the kneeling, and so they're trying to like put that behind them. And other sports are not learning, like the women's soccer, they're not learning. And guess what? You know it's going to be horrible. Olympics, like all the Olympic athletes. I know
well,
the
this
soccer
is,
team.
This is the
I know.
Olympics.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. But you're going to start seeing that on the podium. You're going to start seeing, and people will not tolerate it. They're not going to tolerate it, and they're going to tune out.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, why even participate if you're going to be a butt monkey about it? Why participate?
They all didn't.
The Olympics are supposed to be representing the United States. That's the reason why you're there, is representing the United States.
Representing the United States and the flag. I mean, it's all inclusive, man. It's ridiculous.
If they're going to do that, I say that they get kicked off the team.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Fuck them.
I'm with you. I can't stand it.
It's irresponsible for them to air stuff like that. It is an inappropriate place for them to be doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I know the Japanese government has said there will be no protests during the games.
Like for Japanese
For
athletes?
all athletes, from what I
I
understand.
agree. Yeah, they don't want to make a mockery of the Japanese Olympics.
I wonder if that's I wonder if that's on the podium though.
Oh.
Yes.
It's probably on the podium
I don't know.
because they probably
tired of
would
it.
have got them for this.
Guys,
I didn't know the Olympics frickin' started. Was there an opening ceremony?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
When?
Hold on a second.
I saw it
The
on YouTube TV yesterday, the day before. Sorry, go ahead.
I used to watch. I usually watch that every single year.
So what was significant
Or every
about
Olympics, not every year.
the game that they lost to today was that this was Sweden was the one that knocked them out in the 2016 Rio games. So they went down to the quarterfinals and Sweden knocked them out. So this is kind of a rival.
Yeah. So it wasn't a crappy team, but still getting beat 3-0 is an ass whipping.
You got skunked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's an ass whipping.
in soccer, it is.
And then look at the NBA team. They lost. They lost to Nigeria.
They lost to Nigeria.
Then they turned around and lost to
New Zealand or Australia. I think it was Australia.
I don't remember. And then the third game they crushed them, like whoever it was. But I tell you what, I hate it that I'm starting to root against the teams that are
Representing
our
America.
teams. I don't want to root against American athletes.
I'm not. I'm still going to want to win, but
Me too.
I'm not as proud, unfortunately. But
I remember when the women played in the World Cup. I was in Vegas, and we were walking down one of those promenades inside the casino, and like their TVs were on, and people were crowding around the TVs, and it was the women's soccer.
I saw them play.
It was huge.
I saw them play in the World Cup up at Vancouver.
Yeah.
I was up there and I watched them, and they beat. I think it was Nigeria, as a matter of fact. It was the U.S. team. A lot of these same girls, and
we were so proud, and we were going nuts when they scored. And by the way, they were beating the shit out of everybody.
they were.
I mean, it was like 6-0, like 8-1, like.
Yeah, they beat. Pretty sure it was Nigeria, and they beat them wholehandedly.
Oh yes, I remember that. 12. It was like 12 to nothing or something.
No,
Nigeria.
I don't think it was that.
Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, but my point is.
Maybe it was Mozambique.
But the point is, we were proud.
Yeah,
we were proud of them. It was before politics got into sports.
That's before all that kneeling bullshit started happening.
The divisiveness.
Well,
how come I don't get paid as much as the man soccer?
I don't think that's the reason.
Oh, that's part of it. And it's that funky-haired girl. What's her name?
Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, how
she's been on my Cliff Bars.
Yeah, how wonderfully uniting she is for the country, isn't she?
Negative. No, she's not at all.
Yeah.
And she has. I don't even know what color hair that is.
And you know what? She's going to go down and feeling about herself that she took a stand for like a cause. But the reality is, she divided the country, and she needs to live with that. She is divisive, and she makes Americans be at each other's throats about things that we weren't.
She does.
That we weren't at each other's throats before about. And I think every athlete and I think every influential person needs to consider, is my speech, is my social media post, is my actions on TV, is my interview, is it uniting the country or dividing the country? They need to ask themselves.
She
that.
divides.
Yeah, she's
100%.
absolutely divisive. Agreed.
So anyway, I'm not going to actively root against them.
I don't want to.
And I want the U.S. to win every single gold, but I hate to see their whatever
Antics.
they're doing.
Antics.
Yeah, their wokeness and all that crap.
Agreed. Anyway, I am excited about the Olympics. So I thought the opening ceremonies had already started.
I don't know.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was the pre-something. I don't know. But
Is it
if
this
you could-
weekend, maybe?
If you could,
Pre-ejaculate.
Mr. Producer, put up the schedule for the Olympics because I do not want to miss it. It's once every 4 years. Or this one got delayed a year, right?
It was supposed to be last year, yeah.
Okay, so this is even more of a delay.
Football, which is soccer, right?
Football.
Football.
Yeah, so
Rowing,
okay.
shooting, archery. You know what's interesting? Growing up, when I was growing up, kid from age 5 until I went to college, 18, we had a guy who lived 2 houses behind me. And this was in 76. He was an archer in the Olympics, and I think he won gold medal.
No way.
Yeah. And in his backyard, he had an archery thing set up.
Yeah, like a little target
And he had those professional,
composite bows or
yeah,
whatever.
and this was back in the late 70s, so I'm sure that it wasn't quite as good as they got now, but he had those kinds, and he'd sit back there and he'd sit back there and practice. And it was just some dude who was
Unbelievable.
really good at it.
Yeah.
I think his name was Daryl Pace.
And he would break branches off his tree and make a bow out of it.
He would. And he'd whittle.
Yeah, he whittled a bow.
Yeah.
Because you said it was 70, right?
In the late 70s, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Daryl Pace. There he is right there.
No way. That was your neighbor?
Yeah.
He looks like a serial killer.
I mean, look at that. That's 70s right there, all the way. The glasses and everything.
If that guy drove up in a van, like
Hi,
people would go
girls. What-
running.
He
You know,
looks
he
evil.
reminds me. What is that Napoleon Dynamite
Right.
movie? He looks like Napoleon Dynamite's brother. The one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks scary. Well, actually, much later he looks better there, where he shaved off the mustache.
He looks like. What is the,
I mean, I never hung around him. I mean, he was
forgot his
obviously.
goddamn name.
He was quite a bit older, at least 10, 12 years older than me. So I never hung out with him or anything like that. But we'd go back there and see, right?
But what an accomplishment! A
Yeah.
gold medal at the Olympics. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
It was big, and the city I grew up in is small, just small Ohio town, right?
Incredible.
That's where a lot of these Olympians for this kind of sport come from.
Did
Right.
Did you wear a shirt like that?
I'm sure. No,
Of course he
no,
did. Yes, he did.
no, that's terrible. That,
No, it
that shirt
isn't.
is terrible.
I think it's tight.
It was popular in your area.
It was. I mean, the guy lived right behind you.
I think
Yeah.
that's the official Olympic shirt.
I don't think so.
Um,
That was from the local Target up the street.
They didn't have Target back
That
then.
was probably
Did
Kmart.
you stand in his backyard with an apple on your head?
I did. I cut it with my teeth.
If you see you're as good as you are, why don't you hit this apple off my head?
No,
Make sure you
he'd have
use
a
the poisoned
bandana around his
arrow.
forehead. He started Jeff and the bow, or whatever this dude were on. That's incredible. And Jeff would catch bows or arrows as they were flying through the air.
That was a dude.
I
There's
doubt
also a
that.
guy who caught a bull with his teeth.
Incredible. Dun, 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 dun.
Did you know that reminds me? Did you guys ever watch the show? I'm assuming it's on maybe Showtime, but Super Dave.
Oh yeah, so Super Dave Osborne.
Super Dave Osborne, right?
Yes,
And
used to
so
watch it.
they used to do those little skits where he'd be on a wheel and like
Yeah.
his
He was mocking
Evel Knievel.
of course,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
course. And he'd be tied up on the wheel and they'd spin it and his like sidekick would throw the axe and every single one of them would hit him.
In the nuts. I remember there was boobies.
And he'd be like, "Oh my god!"
I think there was always boobies in that show.
Super Dave.
I've never seen
Osborne.
boobies in that
Were
show.
there boobies? I
I
don't
believe
remember
it was
boobies.
Showtime. Yeah, so they'd have boobies.
Very nice. Anyway, that was really funny. I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, Super Dave was funny. I used to
It
watch
totally made fun of Evel Knievel.
that. Well, Evel Knievel was huge back when At least when we were growing up, late
Yeah.
70s, 80s.
Well, they even had toys.
I had the Evel Knievel toy where you
Yeah.
take the little motorcycle, put it on
Wind it up.
the little carrier, and then you got the little wind wheel and
Fuck yeah.
spins that thing, and you release, and he takes off and jumps, and he's got the little cape that's all plastic and rigid.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do it just right, you'll cut somebody.
I remember,
Dude, if you had toys made after you made it.
well, I remember
Like you were the big time.
the big one I remember watching on TV was when he tried to jump Snake Canyon. It was basically a rocket.
I remember that.
It was basically a rocket. He tried to. He said, "I'm going to jump Snake Canyon," but he was essentially in this capsule that just was on this wood ramp that rocketed out and made it. I don't even know if he made it halfway, and then he just kind of parachuted down to the bottom of the canyon.
So it
he
didn't
missed.
happen.
No, he missed.
So did he end up dying
Well, he's
during a
dead.
stunt?
No, he's dead now. But
But he did not die.
yeah,
during
one of
the
his
stunt.
stunts did not kill him. No,
Now his son
Robbie Knievel, I think.
tried to continue his
I
deal,
think he
and
died.
I think he did die in
Yeah.
a stunt.
I think he did die.
Yeah, look up Evel Knievel. I think he did. Like I said, it was either him.
It's K-I.
It's
or
K-N.
K-N-I-E.
It's evil. Oh,
There
it's
it
a weird
is.
name.
Knievel. Evel Knievel.
There he is. Look at that.
Look
dude.
at that. Oh, that's a badass uniform, though. Did you wear that
Me?
when you were a kid? Did you have chest hair at that age?
I do now.
Well, thanks for sharing. Wow. Okay,
No, but that was big shit back in the day.
So he's got this big leather jacket on, and he's got this big V of red, white, and blue stars banner kind of.
and he's got some serious cleavage.
And he's got the chest hair. He's got the Moody Blues haircut with the big muff top hair.
You know, when we finally do video,
He's got a cane.
the very first podcast we're going to do with video is all three of us going to wear that.
We need our hair to look like that.
Oh,
though.
I'm gonna wear a thong.
We're going to wear Evel Knievel outfits.
But I
It should be the
remember,
best.
I think he said that he's like, yeah, I've broken every bone in my body.
I remember
And there's
hearing
footage of him when he tried to jump, is it Caesar's Palace fountains? And he missed terribly, and he just went splat and slid in and just.
that on the like in the water.
No, he hit the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's fountains in front of Caesar Palace,
Oh yeah.
and he jumped it, and he didn't make it. I think he
Oh,
either went too far or he hit the ramp, and he just went flying,
what a nightmare.
and he broke all kinds of stuff.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so look up his son. I think his son did die in a stunt, but it looks like there's pictures
Bobby, Bobby
of he's
Knievel.
super old, Evel Knievel right there. So obviously he survived, but his son maybe not so much.
We'll go to all
Yeah.
so you can see.
Who cares?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, moving
dead.
on. We'll
He's
never
dead.
know about Robbie Knievel now.
He's dead
Is he dead? How you know?
because he died. He drove over a cliff.
You don't know that.
Yeah, right there.
It looks like it's
Legendary
still old.
American Daredevil. 20 world records in his credit. Son of the world's most renowned Evel
Yeah.
Knievel.
And
Not
dead.
Well, Jeff said he was dead. So
No, you said he would.
no,
he fell off a cliff.
You said he was dead. Write that down.
You just said he fell
We
off a
need an
cliff.
official count.
Yeah, for the first
Jeff,
time. the
Mr.
first
Cliff
time
Clavin
ever,
was wrong.
You're
No,
wrong.
Paul said, I think he's dead. I may have agreed
And
with
you
him.
were like, yeah, he is dead. I know for
No,
a fact.
you said it with authority.
You did say it with authority.
You were just
I know
saying,
for a fact he's dead. I
he's
watched him
dead.
die. I was there when he died.
I caused his death.
I was there.
I caused it. I tripped him.
I stuck a branch
I was a
in his
witness.
spoke.
I was a witness when they did the
Anyway.
death
All
certificate.
right, moving on. Yes, we overdid the Robbie Knievel thing.
God, what a beatdown.
That was a beatdown. All right, what? You know what? You had another topic that was exciting.
Well, it was. And something kind of exciting happened the other day. Was it yesterday or Monday? Is Jeff Bezos launched a huge penis into the clouds
Yeah.
with him in it.
Absolutely. A phallic symbol into the stars.
It
You know
was.
they did that on purpose.
Let me see. You know, everybody's been talking about this. Show me a picture of this big penis, this big rocket penis.
Space rocket.
So it's basically like a tower. It's got a huge shaft and
Oh,
a
God, that looks
a head
awful.
on it, like a helmet, and it's
it's a
Oh,
huge.
it's even worse than I thought.
Look at that. It's a big dill rod, is what that is.
That is horrible.
I bet it's got great aerodynamics.
I hope so. They'd all be dead if
I wonder if
not.
it vibrates a lot.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so there was this space race between billionaires, right? And Richard Branson did his Virgin Galactic.
Was it last month or week or
Well,
year?
not even, not like a couple weeks ago, and he was the first one. He beat him. He beat Bezos, right? Now, he apparently his team fucked up the delivery of it, like the videos and like everything's social media now, right?
Right.
You want to watch it live, you want to experience it firsthand, blah blah blah, and it was messed up, like technical difficulties.
So no one saw it.
Not really, and I think they saw it maybe later, type of thing, but that's not the same thing. Anyway, so he came back, and it was supposed to be, I thought his stock was going to go freaking apeshit crazy. It lost. It has lost 30% or more since then.
Why?
Amazon
Because
stock?
Bezos or
No.
Virgin
Galactic. And so I was like, well, why is it losing money? Like, I thought it would have been like a huge news, right? Because it was only $30. Well, no, it was about $40 a share. At the time, I thought it was going to skyrocket. And no, it's lost probably more than 30% of it. And part of it had to do with the fact that they offered a whole bunch, like $500 million in new stock. And so it devalued the stock. But anyway, I thought it was going to go nuts. Anyway, so then Bezos does his thing, and it got way more press. I don't know if it did anything to the stock, though, the Amazon stock.
Well, it's not Amazon. He's not the CEO of Amazon anymore.
Well, but he's Amazon. He still is Amazon, right?
No, he's not part of Amazon anymore.
You know what I mean, though.
Well, I know what you mean. This
Right.
is called Blue Origin or something like that.
Blue Origin,
his
yeah.
company, and I watched it. I texted you guys
Yeah,
and I
you
said,
did?
"Hey, here's the link. It's on Fox News," and I watched it, and it was cool, but I was underwhelmed at the same time because basically he went straight up and then straight down. It was 10 minutes.
Well, how'd they come down?
It was cool because the little capsule not broke off, but detached from the fuselage.
Right. The head, the penis head.
The penis head
The
detached
shaft
from the
separated
shaft.
from the head.
The
Correct.
head shaft, from the
Blew
shaft.
its load.
Correct. So
Rejected his.
they were
Just had to
kind.
keep going with that, huh?
So they kind of shot up there a little bit, and then the shaft came back down and then landed itself, which is always cool to see. That thing comes down.
Yeah,
and
but did they go to space?
They went in the outer atmosphere.
I don't think they were technically. I don't know what do they call technically space.
They had some.
They're like 68 miles up.
Okay, well, that's...
Yeah,
They had weightlessness,
you
right?
could. Yeah,
Yes.
they had weightlessness,
They
and
had
they
0
were. You
Gs.
could see the horizon
Okay, well, that's good enough.
from
Yeah.
the video feed
Yeah.
I saw. So
But-
they were out in space where it was dark.
Yeah. So they went up, and
Right.
then the fuselage, the shaft came back down, landed itself, which is always cool to see.
That is cool.
And then he started. Him and his buddies came down in this capsule and launched. Just fell right, and parachutes came out and they landed.
Wow.
They showed the miles per hour, and they got up to like 2,500 miles an hour or something like that.
Oh, damn.
It's fast. And on the way back down, they didn't, but they hit the ground at about 16 miles an hour.
Ouch.
So it hit this. They're out in the desert somewhere, and it hit this huge plume of dirt goes out. So they all got a jar. I mean, it's not fast, but still, you hit something at 15, 60 miles an hour, you're going to get a jolt.
For sure. You know what's interesting is SpaceX gets so much coverage, right? With the way and I knew they're doing production launches, right, to the space station, and they're landing their booster rockets and stuff. But I haven't heard shit about Blue Origin.
Yeah.
Like you don't see any videos on it. You don't
Well,
see
his
any
shit
news
does-
coverage.
Well, at least his rocket did the same thing that SpaceX does. It
Right, where
landed
it lands
itself,
itself.
and it did it.
And it worked.
It did it right there in the desert, not on some ship
They had
somewhere.
an older lady on there. She was like 82 years old.
Yeah.
Well, they did the youngest, the oldest. They wanted to break records, right? So Bezos was there, and the youngest, the guy on the left is 18 years old.
I think his brother is there on the right.
The guy on the far left is 18, and you know what he is? He's a hedge fund manager at 18 years old. He's like some brilliant prodigy money-making machine.
That's all right. I mean, if you have it, you can do
No,
it.
absolutely. I'm not judging him at all. Anyway, but they wanted to make a point. They did the oldest human ever in space and the youngest human ever in space as part of their little gimmick.
Look at Bezos. He's got that
hat.
cowboy hat on. It's like
So,
really sits on his eyebrows.
Now, he took a major hit when he came back. Do you know why?
Well, because the cowboy in
Because
space.
of all the cameras. What?
No. He thanked
Oh yeah.
Okay, what was the deal on that? He
Well,
thanked Amazon
he thanked
employees.
Amazon and he thanked Amazon his employees. He says and all of us because he couldn't have got there without us and them.
Yeah, but
Us, the customers and the employees.
But it was worded a little differently. It was like the way that the journalist, and you can take everything the wrong way if you want to. He basically said to the employees and to the customers, thank you for sending me into space.
You
which
paid
was
for this.
you paid for this. That's exactly the way.
Yeah,
they
that's
took
what
it.
he said. You paid for this.
And he's freaking worth what, $300 billion?
No, it's like 100. He is the richest. He's like 150 billion now.
Right, and he totally could have paid for everything by himself, and yet apparently.
But that's it. I was texting my sister because she actually texted me. I had no idea what was going on. She goes, "You watching the Bezos rocket?" And I was like, "No." So I opened up the Fox app and it was live, and it was 10 minutes. So I just sat there and watched it.
Nice.
And I texted her back. I was like, "Wow, that was a really expensive 10 minutes."
Yeah.
You know, it was an expensive trip. No doubt, very, very cool. And it's just the first. I think I was hoping that he'd go up there and orbit a couple times and then come down.
Right.
But I didn't know. But no, he just went straight up and right back down.
So I think it's interesting because there was a lot of criticism of both Richard Branson and Bezos, and because they're nauseated by the fact that billionaires are going to space, and and this is not like environmentally friendly. These launches, right?
It's not solar powered.
No.
Wind powered.
No,
they
not
don't
at
have
all.
Like windmills on there.
I mean, I think it's interesting that the left, because these are generally left wing guys.
Bezos is.
Bezos is for sure, and they're not getting flattering coverage.
Well, they were slamming him. They were just like, it's like $42,000 a minute or something like that. It was It was ridiculous, and they were saying, what is he doing to the planet? And I mean, the whole thing. He's part of the big money of the Democrats,
right?
You would think that they wouldn't say anything like that.
Yeah, they were turning on him. I thought it was interesting. Anyway,
he doesn't care.
But you know what? I think it's not a bad thing for space travel, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing for the advancement in technology.
The dude on the left, the 18-year-old, his brother, is that the brother on the far right with the bald guy?
That's Bezos in the middle, and then you have his brother on the right.
Oh, that's Bezos' brother.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to be the sibling.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, dude, look, if I had the money, my brother would be going.
Yeah, mine would be too.
You guys would be going.
Yeah, did I make the
cut? Jeff would be going.
There you go.
Damn it. I knew. I was thinking that. Yeah, my bad. No, I don't know why I would have thought I would have been invited.
You're the foil.
I'm just the podcast foil. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. It was cool, and but I was just kind of meh.
You were underwhelmed.
I was expecting more.
Yeah.
It's a great technological feat, and it's cool. But I was just thinking, I go around the Earth 2 or 3 times.
I tell you what, the shit that SpaceX is doing is freaking unbelievable. Like, they're launching stuff, and it's going to the space station and refueling the space station, and now they have a manned thing to the space station, and all the rockets are coming down and landing in the ocean on the platform, and I mean,
right.
All that shit is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Very, very cool.
Anyway, it's good stuff. All right. So moving on. I think we beat this one to death.
Well, I wanted to follow up a little bit about our International Hot Dog Day or National Hot Dog Day. We were talking a little bit about the cooking the dogs and being on the grill and stuff. Well, this weekend we happened to one of the things I cooked and we posted on our Dudes Like Us Instagram was I sous vide a brisket.
Yes.
Almost a 16-pound brisket.
For 188 hours.
It was about 45 hours?
48, 46.
Ish.
Whatever. It was almost 50 hours.
And you got the inspiration from?
Well, we were watching YouTube. Well, first of all, I bought one of those little by Anova, those cookers that you put in water and it heats up the water.
Right.
And the process is called sous vide, SOUS space VIDE. And I guess sous vide is a French word. I guess it cooks by an electrical bond.
Yeah, cook your meat sous vide.
I think it's Congolese.
Yeah. So you basically take your meat and you put it in
They
a
speak
plastic
French.
bag,
Really?
and you vacuum pack it seasoned, and then you put it in this water, and it has a controlled temperature. Let's say I have a steak and it's a nice big tomahawk, it's about 3 inches thick, and I season the shit out of it, put it in this bag, and 3 inches thick, it's probably about 2.5 hours you cook it in the sous vide. If I want it medium rare, I probably set it to about 128 degrees.
Right.
And it's set. I can cook it for 2 hours. I can cook it for 3 hours. I can cook it for 4 hours. It'll never go past medium rare,
Of course.
because it's just not.
Because the
So
water,
the longer
water
it
is set
stays
to
on
that
there,
temperature. Yeah.
the more the proteins it breaks down, and the more tender that it gets.
Okay.
But you got to be careful. You
To a
can't do it
point.
too long,
Yeah, to a point.
because then that's kind of like boiled fucking meat,
It's mush.
Well,
It-
no, I've never ever cooked anything,
Yeah, me neither.
but it breaks down and it alters the texture and
Yeah,
shit like that.
it
If you-
does
Right.
weird
If you do it
stuff
for like
in
8
there.
hours, a thin steak, it would. I don't think it'd be very good.
So we've been, I've actually been kind of exploring a lot more with my cooking with the egg and smoking it, combination of the sous videing, and I just got a wild hair. I had a brisket in the fridge, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it." I did it. I
Okay.
threw that thing. I have an igloo, and so I strapped the heating element on the side of the igloo, set it for 150 degrees,
Okay.
and let it cook. Now, in retrospect, they being the Guga chefs, is that what they're called?
As sous vide everything.
Sous vide everything. But I thought it was, you said Guga chefs.
Well, that's his other channel, right? Guga Food.
Guga food. All right. Well, anyways, he later he was like, well, no, you got to cook it for 62 hours. That's what he was recommending at 140 degrees.
Okay.
So, long story short, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I cooked it. I had some issues. The bag bled because I couldn't find a big enough vacuum pack bag, and the turkey bag I put in bled a little bit, meaning that some water got in there. It wasn't a lot, but it was it was about 2 pints, and I went ahead and it had shrunk a little bit. So by the time it had shrunk, it was able to fit into that bag. So I jammed it into a vacuum bag and started the process.
Resealed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let it cook for like another 13 hours, 15 hours, however much it was.
Okay.
And look, it wasn't horrible.
It
In
tasted
fact,
fine. It was dry.
yeah, it was basically just dry because.
And then so you pulled it out of the cooler and then you blowtorch.
Yeah, well, so we took it. Yeah, we took it out of the cooler and we cut the bag. And another thing, I should have, in retrospect, I need to save the juice.
Yes.
So when you cut that bag open, take all the juice that's in there, because when I prepared the brisket, I didn't trim any of the fat.
Okay.
Because we didn't talk about this. I took it out. I seasoned it with on the top. I put some heavy rub on the top, not the bottom. I didn't cut any fat off at all.
Okay.
I heated up the egg to about
8,000.
No, this one was about 225 degrees.
Oh, when you smoked it.
yeah.
yes.
So
Oh,
we started
yes,
off
right.
smoking it because we smoked it. I smoked it for 3 hours first.
Okay.
So I smoked it for 3 hours and then I threw it on there. Into the bag and then seasoned it, and then anyways, long story short, we had a bad experience. It was fun. It was very exciting. I was very anxious, and it did taste fantastic.
Okay. Why you say bad experience then?
Because it wasn't as juicy as what they showed on some of the videos that I've seen.
What do you do differently?
Well, I think I'm going to lower the temperature and cook it for a little bit longer, and
Okay.
I'm going to get some big enough bags to
Bigger
vacuum
bags.
pack it.
I think that was a big part of
Or
it.
Yeah.
I need to not get a 16-pound brisket.
Yeah, get yourself like a 12
Yeah,
pounder.
get something a little bit smaller.
Okay.
That's a big one. Even the ones I smoke usually aren't 16 pounds, usually around the 13, 14 pounders.
Right.
See, when I buy,
a big
so
one.
when you pull it out of the cooler and it's done
Yeah.
cooking for 50 whatever hours,
yeah,
and then you blowtorch it to give it the bark.
yeah. So what we
So
do is
how do you know how long to do that part?
Oh,
I don't know. We just kind of did it.
You
yeah.
just kind of winged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we smoked. Well, he turned the egg on, and it got that's where I said it got up to like 8,000.
So it was already barkified
No,
to some
Yeah,
degree.
well, I smoked it
No,
first,
okay.
so it was
No, not at all.
barkified. In fact, when I
there was
had
no bark.
because I
Okay.
did not cut the fat off, and when
so
I
should you have?
No, well, I don't know, but I didn't. And
Okay.
but I'll tell you what happened. There wasn't that much fat, was there?
You need to cut that big old cork of fat out.
Well, besides that, there wasn't a whole lot of fat, right?
Not well.
There wasn't.
It just didn't render.
So-
It rendered differently than when you smoke it. The fat didn't render as much. I don't think so. There was more just internal fat.
So what I did when I
I
smoked
see.
it for 3 hours, that fat that was on the bottom of it got rock hard. I mean, it was crisp. I thought I
which
burnt
means
the shit out of
it's
it.
not like when you're grilling it or smoking it, it's dripping,
Yes.
right? It's leaving the meat.
Yes.
And it sounds like it didn't leave the meat.
Well, it did.
No, it
he dumped
did.
it out.
Yeah.
No, right? But I'm just saying, if that
I
layer
think
of
some
fat
of it.
was
I think
on
some of
there-
it leaked out when you had the hole,
Yeah.
and then you cut it, and we lost some of the
So
other
what
stuff
I
as
would
well.
recommend is that you do it exactly the way you would do it on a grill.
Well-
Like cut it the same way, do everything the same way, except you sous vide it, right? Sous vide.
Well, I
sous-
need to put
sous
it. Make
vide
sure it's in a bag that's
and a
not
bigger
gonna
bag,
leak.
Yeah.
a bigger bag, so it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
get contaminated with cooler water.
But
Well,
it tasted good.
It's not so much contaminated. It's because it's not going to get contaminated.
I
mean,
know,
because
I was
at
joking.
that temperature, it kills everything.
Right.
But I think, moreover, it just lost its soul when it drained out the bag. Because all
Yeah.
the
All right.
because I didn't trim the fat. So imagine how much fat was in that bag. In fact, I wonder
Right.
of that 2 pints of
Most of that was
liquid.
fat. But
I bet that most of it, a ton of that was fat.
I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Interesting. All right, we got to do this again.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
let's
But
do it
again-
Anyways, it's on our Instagram. We got some videos of it. So the dudes like us, dudes.like.us on Instagram, we're starting to post some of our experiences going out and buying some bourbons, and we're gonna start updating them. We've got a new line of we got a lot of cool shit that's coming up.
Yeah.
We do
Agreed.
for dudes like us.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what?
T-shirts and coasters.
I
T-shirts and coasters.
got bitter today.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you know what really grinds my gears?
All right, here we go.
gears.
Here we go.
And this sucks because they cost money. I'm referring to these phone battery chargers. You know those batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Those, I don't know what the fuck they call them.
The external batteries.
The external batteries.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
there are different
Charging
calibers of
bank.
it. There you go. Charging bank. I get the biggest ones that they make.
Right.
I think
Like
and,
20,000
just
milliamps or
whatever
And they
they are.
last for
Just
3 years
the big
on
one.
one charge.
And man, I have bought I bought one for I don't even know, a long time ago, and it seemed like it lasted a year or two. Man, I have bought like 3 or 4 in the last 6 months, and they just simply aren't lasting.
Meaning they
Really?
they don't hold a charge anymore.
No, I mean it's like this last one I bought, I spent probably $75 on it, and
It's dead.
yeah, I probably used it a total of probably 4 or 5 times, and that's just bullshit.
have you tried to reach out to their customer service?
It's not just that one.
Because the one I have, I've had for probably 3 years, and it's still doing fine.
Do you use it?
My wife does quite a bit.
I don't own one. I do not own one, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's sitting downstairs. It holds a charge well, and it's one of those where you could charge your phone like 10 times, something ridiculous like that.
Nice. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So maybe you're just buying like really cheap ones that are crappy.
Well,
Or
honestly,
maybe you're not looking at the reviews on Amazon.
I bought them the last 2 of them at Walmart, so that's probably
Oh,
what it was.
Walmart. Oh God. No, you have to buy them at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's has the best ones ever.
Right. Well,
No,
I'll tell you a good brand that I've discovered was They've been around for a while. They're kind of one of the first ones that come out with some of that stuff, the chargers.
Did you just fart?
I did not. I did hear a noise that was very suspicious.
I think it's the
I think it was
dog.
Lady
It
the
was Lady
dog.
groaning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I'd own it.
Yeah, you do.
I would own it
Oh, you would own it. Okay.
if I farted. Anyway, sorry, Jeff. Finish your.
So anyway, I buy that stuff. Right now it's because Walmart carries it, but it's
Anchor.
It's their premium brand at Walmart.
And that's
right?
so interesting because this segment is brought to you by Anchor.
Anyway, I like their stuff. It's done well for me. I've had a bunch of their stuff. They make good cords, cables, chargers, the whole 9 yards. Anything you need to charge your phone, they make essentially.
Nice. Sounds good.
So they make good. Anyway,
I'm just not very technologically savvy. There's so many devices out there and little widgets and gadgets and all sorts of shit that could make my life easier that I just
you're an IT.
I right. But
Jeez.
I'm just not plugged into all these fancy things.
Yeah, we know. We go to your house and listen to music that's like
Just
intermittent.
That keeps
Stop.
cutting out.
Just stop.
Such a beat
Oh
down.
my god.
You know, and it happens at the
So
most
lame.
inopportune
I
times.
know. We're out there singing, belting songs out, and then it
Yeah.
stops. And
Yeah.
then they can hear us.
Stop.
Seven
but
Bridges Road.
Yeah, then all of a sudden everyone can hear us because the music's stopped.
Oh, what? Yeah, it's a tragedy. I'll make sure
is.
that never happens again. I'm getting Sanos.
Snooze.
I'm getting Sanos.
Yes.
Is that a good brand?
What do they call that when you can read it frontwards and backwards?
It's a Sanos.
Sonos.
Oh, Sonos.
What is that?
Parallelogram? No.
No.
What is- Parallelogram.
Yeah, it's a square.
What's it called?
It's a rhombus.
No.
I just saw a show about that. The one with Tom Hanks where they're running around Da Vinci Code.
I read the book.
Well, in Da Vinci Code, they talk about the word that's spelled the same backwards and forwards.
Backwards and forwards.
That's what you're asking.
A palindrome.
Yeah, palindrome.
Oh, a palindrome.
Correct.
Yeah, of course. We all knew that.
Gag.
Palindrome. Where
Gag
you
is a
where do you see the
palindrome.
word palindrome? I don't even see it anywhere. Where are you seeing that?
Palindrome. It's just knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is power. The more you know,
Like,
the
like
better you are.
Cyrillic.
God, I have no power at all.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm really stupid.
But are you trying to get another bourbon?
I was thinking about it.
You have no power. I thought you meant willpower.
Oh, that too.
Because you were looking
definitely
at your glass, you're like, I'm empty.
Well, I mean, you guys still have some in yours, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to be that guy that
Well,
like
we didn't
goes
show
for
up to the podcast with. Oh,
Oh, he's empty too. What a
Yes.
dick.
So
And now so are you. Whatever.
interesting. Race car. I've never looked at this. Boob. Boob is a palindrome.
Boob is a palindrome.
Nice. Mr. Producer pointed that one out.
You know, it's funny, so is-
scroll down. I want to
so
see
is
the
tit.
best ones. Sexes. Sexes is a palindrome. I bet you never knew that. Solos.
Ma'am.
Oh, that's a good one. Murdrum. What the fuck is murdrum?
What?
Mudrum. Murdrum.
I think it's made up.
this is weird.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So, anyways,
Alrighty.
these phone chargers, I've got to. That really grinds my gears, man. But I will. I'll
Dude,
look into an
you know,
anchor and.
Here's the thing. Everything is disposable. We live in a disposable world, guys. And I
Well-
know it grinds your gears that you spent $75.
It's not
But
just that, but
nowadays,
you
dude,
realize how
Come on.
vulnerable you are to technology. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. I needed it. I was in the middle of nowhere.
In the
Okay.
desert. Were you in the desert?
I had
It's in the jungle.
For some reason, I was in a rental car.
You were in the
And
jungle?
I plugged it was one like, for
Rainforest.
some reason this rental car I had a USB plug, but it was designed more for plug in some MP3s and play them. It wasn't for charging, so they had no charging capability unless you were to plug it into one of those cigarette lighter things.
Don't you have one
And
of
I
those?
didn't have a cigarette lighter thing at the time
Oh.
because I was out of town.
You can pick those up
And
at Buc-ee's.
I saw that. No,
Buc-ee's,
you cannot.
Buc-ee's has those.
No, you cannot. I went to Buc-ee's and looked for them.
Did
and
you
they-
ask for the manager?
I
I asked for the
bought them all.
manager. They said, "Well, if you want it, it's usually over there by the telephone cables."
Have you tried a brisket sandwich?
Okay, why are people
did
at
have a
Buc-ee's
sandwich.
all like hillbilly backwoods?
Back, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, why are they
ding,
all
ding,
like?
ding.
Why are they deliverance
Ned Beatty.
stalkers?
So it just
Hey,
it
if you
kind
want
of
one, she's in the back.
when your phone is dead
The hell is that?
and you don't have the ability to turn your maps on, and you're in the middle of nowhere.
Didn't the car have navigation?
I guess it did, but that's not the point. You
That's
know,
pathetic.
you,
You're
you
the
can't
opposite.
check.
You know what you are? You're the opposite of a prepper.
You're the one telling me that
The opposite. What's the opposite of a prepper? Somebody who like falls apart if it starts raining.
An anti-prepper?
Yeah, you're just not prepared for anything in the world at all. It gets windy, you fall apart. You just fall out of your car,
And I also
start crawling around in the ditch.
I also think what's interesting is we are so used to the big city and having everything
Everything.
around us. And when you go out into the country, you're just like, I can't find anything. I need this. Well, there's nothing
You know what?
around.
And
There's
you
no
know what?
Walmart. There's no Target. There's no this. There's no that.
So I'll give you a little taste of that. So I just came back from Colorado, where my parents have a cabin in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We-
look at
And
me.
no, it's tough. It's
I have a
really
cabin.
really tough. You guys should have felt sorry for me.
Did you see any
But
elk?
they have no elk. But I'm going to share some stories. This has never happened in 40 years of me going up there. But anyway, we have power. We have well water, right? Okay. We have internet now, but we have to be careful about how much internet we use because there's only a certain amount of bandwidth. We have to be careful about how much water we use because there's only so much water, right? You can't wash clothes every single day. You run out of water.
So you can't stream porn in HD?
Well, that you can do.
So how does the water
And I
thing
did
work?
so much of that.
Is the water
and my
like
parents are like, what are we
through
watching?
a meter,
and I was like, don't worry about
or
it,
does
Mom.
it
Don't
fill
worry
up a
about it,
tank?
Dad.
Does the water fill up?
Sick bastard. What is wrong with you? Streaming porn? Are you listening to this?
In HD.
Are you part of the same podcast I am, Sean?
I was asking about the water. You said you got to be careful how much water you use. Are you carrying water to your place, or is water filling up a
like
tank?
you carry
or?
it like
There's a well.
on top of your head?
So why, if you have a well,
No, I have
If
a long
you-
stick across my shoulders.
if you have a well,
And
why are
two
you worried
buckets
about
on
how
either
much? Is it the volume of water it produces?
Yeah, it's a natural
Like
well.
drips?
Well, no, it's a natural well, and it fills up the water tank, the tank that's in the house, and then if you use a shitload of it, it takes a while to recharge. Yeah. So I mean, water is like very important up there, like we just talked about. Like it's like we
So I
take
mean,
for
is
granted.
it pumped out
We
of the
take-
ground,
we
or is
take-
it naturally flowing?
No, it's pumped out of the ground.
So can't you just get a stronger pump?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. It's a pretty strong pump. I mean, I think.
I
don't know.
I mean, we spare no expense. It's the biggest, baddest pump
Well,
you could
I mean,
ever buy.
if you're running out of water, and the only problem is that the pump is deficient and it's not able to produce it.
I don't think that's the issue. The issue is it takes a while for the water to like refill.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So if you have like a half horsepower pump, if you went to like a 3 horsepower pump.
Yeah, but we have it's the pump is actually a disposal. We have a disposal sitting there in the well.
So you
And-
just gotta sit there and pump it with your leg?
yeah, well,
like those
there-
old fashioned
there-
ones where you
there
like these
is a
crank
foot
it.
pump. There's a foot pump,
Do you have a
And-
mule?
and it's
A mule?
I think
Yeah,
it's
a mule. You push around
it's a-
in circles to.
okay. First off, I'm the mule. I am the one that rocks
You're the
around in the
jackass.
corner.
There's a difference.
Okay. Anyway, my point is, God, why are you guys challenging me on everything? The point is, you have to be conscientious about all that stuff, right? I mean, bandwidth for internet, water, like all that
So
kind
you
of stuff.
can't shit?
Well, you can, but we say if it's number one, let it go. Number two, you flush it down. I mean, I think there's a little saying that I'm messing up here, but
Is there an outdoor deposit?
no, you
There's-
can.
there's
in
no
an effort,
outhouse?
you know.
That's where the dogs went. I guess you could go out there and kind of squat.
You
and
brought Sasha?
We did. She loved it. Went ape shit crazy. And we just let her run all over the mountain
And she came back.
every time. Amazing.
It's not
that-
amazing.
isn't
What the
that
hell, man? It's
No, isn't that crazy? I mean, I thought for sure she'd be eaten by like a bear or something, or like a mountain lion.
your one-eyed, three-legged dog.
Yeah.
The bear would have been like, it's not even a challenge.
My God, that's like a sitcom waiting to
Exa-
happen.
Exactly. My money's on the mountain
Ball
lion.
and Shelley in
But you might be-
Colorado
you might
got
be
beat
right.
by a bear.
I think a bear or a mountain lion were like, no, come on, that's
Nah,
too easy.
Come on.
Look at this poor bastard. Forget it. Anyway, so it was fun, but I will tell you something we've never seen before. So not far from our cabin is a big rock outcropping that is like one of the easiest thing to climb, but kids, you know, they it's challenging for the kids, adults not so much, whatever, but we like to climb it.
Rock climbing,
A big rock outcropping, okay?
outcropping.
Yeah, so it's a big, you know,
rock
like
that sticks out of the ground.
thank you. Big rock that sticks out of the ground.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Well,
probably 50 feet, maybe
One
30.
rock.
If you fell off, you'd die. That's how high it is.
oh.
Anyway, so
So you let the little kids climb it.
yeah, because it's
It's outdoors.
as long as they don't
It's
get
fun.
to the edge, right? but check this out. So they're walking over there. I decided not to. I was on the deck of the cabin. They're walking over there, and they look there, and there's animals standing on top of it.
Get your gun.
And we're like, okay. And they're like, that's deer, right? And I'm like, that's not deer. So I'm looking in the binoculars, and I'm like, they have horns. And I looked up really quickly on the internet. Boom, boom, boom. Bighorn sheep.
Yeah.
40 years I've been going there. They've never, ever.
Well, the Colorado horn. Rams, right?
Yes, okay, but it didn't go all the way around. They were juvenile, right? So they went maybe to the top of a little bit packed, at the back of the skull.
Right.
But anyway, they were clearly horns. So check this. They walked down the front of it, which we were like all in shock because we never
yeah.
we go down the backside where it's like easy to go down. They went straight down the front of it because they're freaking bighorn sheep. They walk across the meadow, and we're talking, God, 600 yards. They walk up to my cabin. They walk across my back driveway, and on they go. 2 of them. I have
Did
pictures.
they butt heads?
No, I mean, but
The
guys,
shit on your property.
if
Did you try feeding
if
them?
you guys knew how rare this was, you would be impressed.
Did you get your bow and arrow?
I did not. I did not try to kill them.
Did you run around naked?
You could have eaten them.
I didn't run around naked. I thought about it.
Because if you did, they could have mounted you.
Correct.
You could-
Every time I see an animal in the wild, I think about
Be an
getting
excellent
naked.
TikTok.
You could have made a pelt.
Yes, I wanted to make a pelt naked, and I wanted. Okay, I'm never bringing up another story about wildlife in Colorado.
No, I think it's cool.
You guys get weird.
Why?
Well, I
I'm not
mean,
going to get naked
we're
and start
asking
to kill
questions.
Is it good eating?
them. A bighorn sheep?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I bet you could sous vide
Can you
them.
eat sheep?
Can you sous vide?
It's called mutton, isn't it?
Can you sous vide
That's
them?
a
Sheep
lamb.
Mutton?
I guess lamb, baby sheep.
But I'm
No,
going to show.
hold
I'm going
on.
to show
Oh,
you
let's
pictures,
go.
guys. You're going to be
Is
impressed.
lamb mutton?
You guys, they were 15 yards away from me.
Why don't you ride it
I did. I ran out there.
and just hopped on its back?
I did. I hopped on his back, and it
Did it make a noise?
And it was like jumping around.
You're holding
and
on his
kicking his
horn?
back legs, and I was holding onto his horn, going, "Yeah, I'm naked, and I'm going to get a pelt tonight."
You're grinding into it.
What's fucking wrong with you guys?
What? You kind of went there, and I just said, "Did you ride it?"
I
You
never
just
said
talk
I was
about
naked and that I wanted a pelt. Can we take a break? I'm a little offended, and I'm upset. I'm going to show you pictures, and you're going to be fucking impressed.
Well,
Were
of
they
the-
big?
of
How
the
big
sheep.
were they?
Oh, they were little. I mean, they were probably bigger than a goat, smaller
Were they
than a
as
donkey.
big as the dog here, the German Shepherd.
A little bit bigger. A little
so
bit
it would
bigger.
have been hard to ride those in.
I tried.
Were
but
they? Did they look like they were human friendly? Did they?
They were looking.
They
at
weren't
us.
scared of you.
They were looking at us the whole time. There they are. I mean, our producer has some pictures of it. Now they were not full-grown rams, so the horns didn't go all the way around like that. That's really impressive. If you look at a juvenile one, they're thinner, taller horns. Look up juvenile bighorn sheep. Anyway, but we've been up there for 40 years, and we've never seen anything like it. It was incredible. And here's the funny thing. There was no reason for them to go up that rock outcropping other than, there they were. That's it right there. The fourth from the, far left. That's
All
it.
right, so they're on
100%. That's
they're
what it
on
was.
top of a 50-foot rock, 600 yards away, and they see you through these binoculars,
Well,
and they're like, "Well, let's go check out that
That's
guy.
good.
He looks like
Maybe.
he's got food."
they walked right up to us. But here's what's funny. Yeah, I can understand them coming down a mountain where they live, and then they're going over rocks and stuff. But this rock outcropping is the middle of nowhere, which means they came down from a mountain, walked across a meadow for a long time, decided to go up on this rock because it's fun. Like for them, it's fun.
Well, they're juveniles. Maybe they're having fun.
Well,
They're teenagers.
I think this is what they like to do. They like to go up and down rocks. But I was just thinking to myself, there's no reason for
Hey,
them.
Joe, look at that. Let's go climb it.
Absolutely. I was like, there's no reason for them to go up
Okay,
this
Keith,
rock.
let's go.
It was crazy.
Joe and Keith, the sheep.
It was so crazy. All right, during the break, I'll show you the pictures. Anyway, all right.
right.
We spent too much time on that. All right.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm with you. I'm liking outdoor stuff like that. Seeing animals, that's cool.
It was
Yeah.
incredible.
It's surreal being out there, out in the nature, and these.
I mean, we've seen deer many, many times. There were elk a long time ago, not so much anymore. A lot of elk.
You think they're getting cold too much?
I don't know. I think we come up at a different time than
Or is it
before.
that the humans are just starting to encroach on their land and they go deeper?
I don't know. But I haven't seen elk in a very long time. But we see deer all the time. My parents have seen bears. But and I think that's our
I believe
that's
that
our
was-
cue.
That was Paul's phone.
All right.
Right. Actually,
Well,
I think this
how
is a-
was their trip though in Colorado? I mean, you were there for a week. Did the refrigerator ever show up? What's the status on the refrigerator?
So we ordered a new refrigerator because the old one was really struggling. The freezer became
Well, why
a
don't you back up a
refrigerator.
little bit? Tell us, the whole process because you had ordered this refrigerator before you even left.
Well, yeah, no, I did a shitload of planning because you gotta make sure that the delivery date is when somebody's going to be there and all this kind of stuff. You can't just do what we do here, which is order something and whenever it arrives, you get it. I had to all this stuff because my parents go up there, but they can't be by themselves. Okay.
Right.
And so me and my siblings, we planned the whole trip so that one was there the first week, I'm the second week, third week, fourth week, right? Somebody's there the whole time. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, but while we're also trying to take care of things, while we're up there. Right, the refrigerator was struggling. The freezer became the refrigerator. The refrigerator part was not even cold enough to like take care of other stuff.
So it wasn't cold beer.
No, not unless I put it on the freezer section. But even then, it was not even that cold.
Right.
Anyway, so I ordered a new refrigerator, and it got one carrier, received it, and they handed it off to another carrier. And I was like on their websites with their tracking numbers. I mean, it was Amazon.
Did it ever show up?
Never did. It got lost.
It never got located.
It never got
Did
located.
you get your credit?
So we said, okay, screw it. Let's see what we can do to this refrigerator we have. So my brother and I start tearing the thing apart, right? They
Right.
take the back panel. He takes the back panel off of the freezer, and there were I'm not kidding, 6 inches of frost, of ice on the
condenser?
yes, in between the back of the freezer and the back of the refrigerator where the condensers, I guess.
Right, yeah.
6 inches. And I was like, oh my God, no wonder nothing's moving. No air is moving.
You
at
just
all.
kind of turn it off, let it defrost, and
No, we left it running, and we just chiseled the shit out of there,
Yeah.
like all the way out of there. And I'll be damned, it's brand new. The refrigerator's working like brand new.
Well,
Yeah, so I just saved $900.
there you go. So
Yeah.
you canceled and
I
says,
did. Well, and what's funny is they said, we don't know where your shipment is. If you want to ask for a refund, you can do that. And I was like, well, hell yeah, I'm going to do that.
right,
So I did, and I bet you they would say, whatever, keep it. It's Amazon.
right.
Amazon would be like, whatever.
So you said you were watching some good TV shows out there. Was it Mary Tyler Moore and
Bob Newhart,
Bob
It was.
Eight is Enough.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I put on for my parents. I knew
Ages
I
is
knew they would
enough.
love it. We watched Bob Newhart and Mary Tyler Moore.
Right.
Yeah, it was
It's
good
fun to
stuff.
watch those old shows like that every now and then, because I remember when me and the family went out to visit my dad out at Lake Tahoe. He bought he buys these CD collections of serials shows when he was growing up.
Right.
Where you go to the movie theater for a nickel, and there'd always be like a 5-minute Flash Gordon episode before every movie.
Oh, okay.
And he bought one. It was called Commander Cody and the Moon Man or something like that. And
Okay.
it was like a 13-disc set, and we watched all of them. And the boys were intrigued, and it was bad. Where the rocket shoots off, you see the strings and, and everything, and it's.
So hold on. How long were they? You said 5 minutes?
Well, no, these were about 30 minutes long.
Oh, okay. They're full episodes.
Yeah, it's a full episode.
Commander Cody.
Commander Cody and the Moon Man, I believe. And there it is, right there. And
how did you hear about these?
well, my
'Cause
dad.
Your dad. Okay.
Well, my dad. This is what he watched when he was a kid.
Really?
Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen.
So
She's a female.
And where? How were you able to watch
she has
this?
boobies too.
he
Good
bought
Lord.
CDs. Or, I'm sorry, DVDs.
Did you see that outfit she was wearing? Very revealing. What is that?
What is wrong
1930?
with you?
Look
Everything
at
you
that
see-
picture.
Oh,
I mean, seriously.
yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
I
see
mean,
what you're
that's
talking
where
about.
Batgirl got her outfit from.
He's got some side boob working. So
Wow.
so he watched it when he was a kid, right? When he was 10, 11 years old, back in the late 40s and 50s, right?
Yeah.
And so he bought the DVD set of this whole storyline, and it was like 12, 13 episodes.
How cool is that?
And we sat there with him and watched the whole thing.
And it wasn't like super cheesy and stupid.
Oh, it was so cheesy,
but it was fun.
but it was fun. And tell you what, the boys were probably 8 and 10 or 10 and 12 or something like that at the time.
Okay, this is a while ago.
And
At that age, they don't care,
they were just like, let's watch the next one.
right?
I need to see what because everything ended in a cliffhanger.
Of course.
So
I
is he
recall
gonna
Preston
die?
talking about something like that.
I don't think he was there for that.
He told me that he went over to your parents' house.
Oh no, that was the home videos,
No, he went over to your parents'
and it was
house
definitely.
and he
a
watched a
cliffhanger.
bunch of old shit like nonstop over there.
It could have been at
In fact, he said it was some sort of space show.
Preston. I don't think Preston. He may have been, but maybe it was over at Julie's parents. I don't know. But yeah, we did that. It was funny, and because I was kind of kidding.
Where
I was
was
like,
he
well, let's
at?
put one in. Let's put one in. And we watched it, and we just
You just bounced and bounced and bounced. You
we
couldn't
just
stop
we
watching.
just binge watched Commander Cody
That's
over
funny.
about 2 days. Right.
What was the space show from the 70s? There was Logan's Run.
That was a movie.
Buck Rogers.
Wasn't it? You had Buck Rogers for the 21st century or 25th century. Or
Okay,
whatever
but
it
there was another one, and I remember what the spaceship looked like.
Battlestar
1999.
Galactica.
No. What's
Space something 1999.
V.
I think it was 1999.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was Spaceship 1999.
I
Yeah.
think that was it.
Yeah.
Spaceship? That doesn't sound
Well, I
right.
don't know. It had 1999 in it.
Yeah, put 1999. See what that looks like. That's it.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that the name of the show was what then?
Space 1999.
Space
Space
1999.
Yep.
That was a great show. I remember watching that with my parents. And so what year was that?
75 to 77. It only was on for 2 years.
77. So I was 5 to 7 years old. Isn't that amazing how you have those childhood memories of what your parents watch?
Yeah. I think I vaguely remember that one. The big one was Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
of course,
that
the
was-
first with Lorne
Yes.
Green and
Yep.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a great one.
They had the little sideline, the eyes, the way they move back and forth.
then you had Balthazar or something like that, the guy who controlled the Cylons. Was sitting up on the pedestal or throne or whatever it was.
did you
I
guys-
enjoyed the second generation of Battlestar Galactica.
I was going to say,
came
that
did
out.
you
was-
see, so you see the second one? It was
Yeah.
Yes.
great.
It was
I
well
thought
done.
it was fantastic. I watched them all. In fact,
Yeah.
they have a few spin-offs, and I even watched those two.
I watched them.
And
Right.
it was sexy. Like
Oh
they weren't,
yeah, that
they
woman
weren't
in
shy.
red
Oh,
dress.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
Lord,
They weren't shy about being like saucy in that show.
Yeah.
What was the name of that
saucy.
girl? She went on to do Longview.
That's a.
She played such an
Permanent.
interesting character.
She
I
was
remember
badass.
she was.
Was she an actual Cylon or was she in his head?
Well, you don't know. I mean, you've watched the entire thing, right?
I have, yeah.
They're kind of like at the very end. It's like an epiphany. It's like they were angels because they reboot the human the species over and over. It's like they were tasked to try to get the human race to survive, and they would do it over and over because they would talk and they would be like, well, we've already tried this before, in past
The Matrix, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it would be a reboot, and this is the one where they made it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
And even Buck,
Me too.
not Buck, but what is
Starbuck.
Starbuck? Oh, she turns out that she was kind of like some sort of archangel.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't even
That's
really.
the one I'm talking about, though. She's badass in that show.
She is, but it turns out that she is.
We're totally
I mean,
spoiling
because she
it. We're
disappears,
spoiling
Spoiler
the
alert.
show.
but she
Even though it went off the
disappears
air
for
like 8 years ago.
I know, right?
into the fourth dimension. You know, and,
Yeah.
And
It's
then she comes
100%.
back, and they're kind of like, where did you come from? And we're like, I don't know. I just came from this planet. I'm alive now. And they were like, well,
Yeah.
your ship, when you left, it didn't have everything. And when you came back, it's like fresh out
That's
of the
right.
factory.
Yep, I remember that.
We'll have to
Well,
watch that again.
It's totally worth watching.
Yeah,
It
we'll watch it
is.
again because I watched it, but I forget a lot of that.
And
I
stuff.
her-
wish they
her
would bring it back
character-
on Netflix.
But her character.
It is on Netflix.
I wish they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not on Netflix. It used to be, and I remember I
Yeah.
sat
Is
there
it
and
on-
binge watched them.
Is it on the UK or like?
I'll
Sweden or
I'll start taking a look. You know, you can Google Netflix Battlestar Galactica. What part of the world? You know, and it'll populate on there or show
Right.
you where it's at.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's a
watch
great,
that again.
Great, it's a great show.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
They had the character, the dude with the scarred up face. He was the commander in chief, the captain. Well, whatever.
Stubing.
Yeah, but you know, it's a bunch of characters, and you
I
got
was like, what?
and you got to
You
see
know that?
and you got to see.
No, Captain Stubing is the Love Boat.
Oh, you're such an idiot.
Yeah.
I should have known that. Thank God, the music.
Well, yeah, the music is
It's
on,
Admiral
and we
Adama.
had actually for those
was.
folks that have no idea, we actually were delayed today. Technical
were.
difficulties, so it's a little bit later. So I don't have no idea when this is, but you know what? It's Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean,
I'm Jeff.
I'm Paul.
and we'll be back in a little bit.
Yo.
We're gonna try out a new bourbon. Peace out.